guys, the last time I talked to y'all, I told y'all I was fighting the barber pole worm with some of my goats. I had already lost 2 of them, and my little beau was fighting. He did not make it. Yesterday, let me back up. A couple days ago, I had taken him to Texas A&M because I felt like he had gotten a little bit worse, and there was just nothing else that I felt that I could do to help him. So I felt that I needed to take him to Texas A&M veterinary school, which I did, and they ran a fecal on him, and he did not have any more worms. So what I did as far as the worming treatment, it worked, but his little body just couldn't fight off the damage that those worms had done. Apparently, according to the vet, that they did a blood transfusion on him, and they said he was very anemic, which I knew. That's caused from that parasite. It attaches itself to the organs and to the stomach wall, and it just sucks out the blood, but it has these little like teeth or claws that it attaches itself to their organs, and it causes damage. And apparently little Beau was just too far along, and they couldn't save him. They did everything they possibly could. The blood treatment did help him. His blood levels did increase, but he was already to the point where he didn't want to eat, he didn't want to drink, and they had a line in him, I forget what you call it, where they was giving him fluids, but they were trying to introduce some protein and different things to try to get his appetite back on track, and his body was just rejecting it. And they saw him slowly declining. Different things happened to him. His oxygen levels went down. They would put him on oxygen. It would get back up, but he became very lethargic, where he would just lay there and had his little head. They said his nose was to the ground. He was still sternal at that point, so he wasn't crying out in pain or anything. And they said that there was a few more things that they could try to initiate some protein into him. And they said that it would either, in 48 hours, we would know. Well, it didn't take an hour. They had called me back, and I had initially told them I wanted to try. As long as Beau wasn't in pain, if there was anything I could do to save him, I was willing to do that. And they went forward with the treatment, and then they had called me back within 1 hour of them starting the treatment, and they said that he was just rejecting it, that he started to roll over on his side. And when a goat does that, they're in pain, and they're giving up, because they would roll him back up on his stomach, but then he would roll right back over on his side. And the vet said at this point they felt like the humane thing to do was to euthanize, because his body was just rejecting everything, and there was nothing else that they could do for him. And I did not want him to hurt, or I mean, if there's nothing they can do, there's nothing they can do, right? So I felt that I did everything I possibly could for him, except for catching it sooner. I felt I have a lot of blame that if I had caught it sooner, I probably would have been able to save him, or at least the vet would have been able to save him. But anyways, it's brought us to today. I went to, this all happened yesterday. They put him down last night. They are 2 hours away from my home, and they said that Beau probably wouldn't last for me to get there, to be able to be there with him when they administered the drug to put him to sleep. And they said that he was in pain and he was hurting, and so I told him to go ahead and euthanize him, and I'm on my way to come get him. So it was about 8 o'clock when I got there last night and picked him up, and I brought him home and I buried him alongside his mom and another goat that I have recently lost. There are 2 other goats that I recently lost to the barber pole. And one thing that I have determined that I need to do that I have not been doing is rotate my pastures. And I've only not done that because I haven't had pastures to rotate. So today I went out to Tractor Supply. I bought all the equipment that I need. My T-posts, I got a new gate, my posts, and my fencing. And what I'm gonna do is this pasture right here, I'm gonna split it down the middle. I've got a fence that runs across the back right there, and this is where I'm gonna put the gate, where I can swing that gate left or right, because I have some of these posts back there already with that fence that goes across. I'm gonna put another post in the middle of those 2. That way I can swing that gate either left or right to cut off this pasture or to cut off that pasture. So I'll have these 2 pastures. I'll have this one and this one. Both of these are too small to sustain all the goats that I have. I have like 20 goats. So I could probably do them both, keep them on both. So I would have this pasture, and this one. That'll give me 3. That way I can rotate one out. The boys on one, the girls on the other. This is the only buck that I have right now. A little Bo was my other buck, but he's the only one that I have right now. And as you can see, this little black thing that's around him, that's called a buck apron. That keeps him from getting my does pregnant. And he can't always wear that, so I'll have to, once I get this pasture, this fence put together where I have the additional pastures, I can separate my boys and my girls again. I have some wethers. But they're also supposed to eat different feed if you feed them, other than just their browse and their hay that they get. If you feed them pellets, there's a pellet. You can feed them both, the boys and the girls, but it's really specifically made for the boys because it has ammonium chloride in it to keep them from getting urinary tract blockage. The girls are not as susceptible to it because their urinary tract is straight, where the boys curves, so they're more susceptible to that blockage. But this feed that I give them is supposed to help prevent that. And there's also it's also medicated to help treat coccidiosis. So help prevent it, not treat it, help prevent it. So I'm about to get started on this pasture. I gotta go get my tractor, and I've got a few piles of debris that I don't have to scoot out of the way because that fence line is gonna go straight down there. So let's get started. So I got post number 1 set, and this is the one that the gate is going to attach to. That way, let me see. That way, when I attach the gate to the pole, I can swing it this way and shut off this pasture to the right, that is. Or I can swing the gate this way and shut off this pasture, because the fence line is going to go straight down the middle. That way I'll have this pasture and this pasture. So I got post number 1 done, working on number 2, and I'll put a brace in the middle, because when I attach the fencing to it and I pull, I need this to be secure. So that's where I'm at. All right, guys, day 2 of fence building. I ran out of daylight last night. I worked till, I don't know what time it was. It was dark though, I could not see. But I had to come out this morning, and I got this end finished rather. I got my support poles. This will be my end pole where my gate attaches. This gate is going to attach to this pole, and that way it can swing left or swing right. I have no desire to cut off this back pasture to lock goats back here, because I don't have water back here, and they're all the way in the very back of my property. I don't like them being back here and not have the opportunity to come back to the front. So that will fix this. Now I'm going to go down to the other end and work on those support posts. But on that end, I'm trying something different. I'm going to try strictly T-post, because I don't have to add a gate to the post, to the end post. So I'm hoping that those T-posts are strong enough to be able to support that fence. It also will have a brace like this, but it's just going to be made from T-post. So we're going to try that out. Brace number 2 is the T-post. Looks uneven. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. Oh, it's this line that's throwing it off, I believe. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So yeah, I don't have to put a gate on this end, because I have these 2 gates. It's going to work either way. So now all I got to do is put the rest of the T-posts 10 foot apart all the way down. Well, I got 10 posts set here, I believe. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 posts there. Looking pretty good, but it is 1:17 and the heat's killing me. So it's time to go take a break, have some lunch, chill out for a little while, and then I'll come back out here when it ain't so dang hot. All right, guys, see you in a minute. So I got all my fence posts up. I'll show you what I've done. Now I'm fixing to start on the actual fence, rolling out the fence and attaching it to the post. Let me show you my post. Okay. Here's my fencing I'm gonna put up. Oh. I'm really trying to get this taken care of today. Today is Saturday, the 9th. 2 days ago, Friday, is when I lost Bo. So, actually it was Thursday. So I'm really trying to get this fence up because I don't want to lose another goat to barber pole. And this is one of the best ways to do it, is be able to rotate your pastures. So with me dividing this pasture, like I said, I'll have 2 pastures right here, and then 2 small ones up there, or 1 big one. So I'll have options now. Only the boy, yeah. Good job. Ooh. All right. So, finally got my project completed. My son's out here helping me separate the goats. I'm gonna keep the boys on this side, girls on this side. I've got the very back pasture opened up on this side for the girls because I have more girls. And what I did on that end, same thing I did on this end. I got a center post, I got a gate that I can cut off this pasture. I can close it and cut off this pasture. Have a gate here, it shuts off that pasture. This gate I can close to shut off this pasture, or I can keep it open if I want the boys coming in here, which right now I don't. So we're gonna shut this gate and keep the goats in the very back here. Boys on this side, girls on this side. But I'm done. I'm finally done. So I got about a week of videos that I'm gonna put together and get out today. Today is Sunday. What's today's date, babe? July
16th.
16th. So hopefully you'll be seeing this video later. Appreciate it, you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. We're out here, me and Colton. We are getting it done. We'll see you on the next one.